Viva La Vida by Coldplay. This is a really cool piece, and Rockschool have done a nice arrangement of it. They're doing the melody, mainly, in this one for you in the Grade 3 ukulele syllabus. To play the melody, I'm going to suggest that you do it with a plectrum, if you're used to doing that. I think when you play with your fingers, if you are, make sure you're alternating index, middle, you're walking, okay, those fingers. But I think the plectrum just gives you a bit more attack, a bit more clarity on your notes, and that's really useful when playing the melody over this, because it's quite a driving track, and I think to be heard over the backing track successfully, you're going to need this. This is like the smallest little amplifier you can buy, okay, the cheapest little one. It totally changes the tonality. So here it is. Okay, now with the pick, so listen to the difference. Okay, so it's a lot brighter. Dynamics, there's not many, but we'll just quickly go over them. If you don't do the dynamics, if they're written into the book, okay, and they're on an exam piece, you don't do your dynamics, how am I supposed to give you a distinction? You know, so just make sure you do them. There isn't a lot of variety, however. You're starting off mezzo forte, that's an M, F, okay, in the first line. Mezzo forte means moderately loud, and you're going to do that all the way through until virtually the end of page 15. You'll see there's an F marking just on that last quaver, 7th fret, okay, the E. That's an 8th note going into the chorus, which is the last line. That's now forte. So just one F means forte, which is loud. And you're going to stay on that until the 3rd line of page 16. You go back to mezzo forte, moderately loud, and then at the refrain, when you start playing chords, which we'll discuss in a second, you're back to forte. And then you're going to stay there until you get to the end of the piece. And you see at the end of a piece the word dim, D-I-M, okay, that's just an abbreviation for the word diminuendo. That means that you're going to get gradually quieter across that whole line until you see the next dynamic marking, which is a P, which stands for piano, quiet. Diminuendo can also be indicated by that marking, so you can't see that very well, can you? But hey, we've discussed it. Okay, so another thing to just quickly discuss is slur markings. In this case, this is what it is, a high note to a low note, a slur marking. This would be called a pull-off. And instead of going, it's So you're kind of making them kind of one note in a way, you see what I mean? Ba, you're falling from one to the other, but smoothly, legato, okay? When you do a low note to a high note, ba, that's called a hammer-on. To do it successfully, please remember that it is called a pull-off. Okay, so what you can see there, when I play, I'm then pulling, I'm plucking across. I'm not just coming up and off. Well, I see most people do that. So they'll play the note, and then they'll come off like this. Now, don't keep your fingers behind here when you're playing. I'm only doing that so you can see these fingers, okay? Pull across. Pluck the string. You literally hear the difference. If I do it in front of the other mic. Or, hear that? Doesn't have enough clarity. Even though it's a pull-off, a slurred note, you still want to make sure that the volume of the two notes that you're playing, the one that isn't slurred, the first one, and the second one that has been slurred, are of equal volume. Okay, quickly, chords in the refrain, C, and then down to the D, G, E minor. Okay, with this, I think getting a bit of a palm muting sound would be great. Just bring the hand on to the edge of the bridge and just let it fall, using this part, onto the strings. Now, if you come too far up, that's just muting, okay? Palm muting, bring it back, okay, I'd almost be palm muting, if I could, trying to just slightly avoid that top note so that rings through a little bit clearer. But with this, definitely that palm mute's quite nice. You can just come up with your own rhythm as long as it kind of fits with the track. Okay, when you change that D chord, you'll notice that the D is written just before the bar line, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so the D and the E minor, you want to change on the and of beat 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Okay, final thing, the two errors on the recording, there's a rhythmic error. If you look at line 3 on page 14 in your book, okay, so just open it there and go to the last bar on that line. It's written as a quaver followed by a crotchet rest and a minim rest. In the recording, that they've let that last note ring on. So if you aren't really reading the rhythm in the music stave, in the notation stave, you're just reading tab, and you're not paying attention to that rhythm, and you're getting all your rhythms from the actual recording, be careful, because most of the people who are going to be examining you didn't work on this syllabus, okay? You know, they're not going to get tons of ukulele grades. So how are they going to mark you? Well, they're going to mark what they're hearing against what they're seeing, okay, on the book. So just play what's in the book. That would be the most important thing to do there. So if I just play that whole line, this is what it should sound like. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and then off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. They let it ring on. You'll see when I do the playthrough, you'll hear what it should be, and just get your full mix out and just try and find it and really listen to it and look at the rhythmic pattern that's there and see how they compare, and you'll notice it's different. The other error is actually a note that has been missed. Okay, so if we go to page 15, go to the 4th line down, 3rd bar, it's this. That's what's written, okay? On their recording, there's a note missing. They went. So just be careful you do. So that whole line would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay? Between those two bars, I took this finger off the first time. Don't. Just leave that down there so that your G is ready. That's 3rd fret, okay? Brilliant! I think that's enough. Let's do the playthrough.
Viva La Vida.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.